So, hello and welcome to yet another episode of the Lucy and Tim Show. Common sense comment about care. I'm joined, as always, by my co-conspirator and collaborator, Lucy Buxton. Hi, Lucy.
Hello, Tim. How are you?
I'm dried out now. I got wet today.
Oh, I saw your post. Yes. We're going to set up a GoFund You page, a crowdfunding page for an umbrella.
Yes, I have got an umbrella, except it was not with me.
No, you need a posh one. I mean, we can't have you getting wet twice in one day.
I did get wet twice in one day, and I'm still mildly damp at the moment.
We can also see that you're in the dark.
I'm not. I'm in a travel lodge, and I had the curtains open, but then it made my head look shinier than it normally looks. So that wasn't a good look. So I'm afraid we're in the dark, and I'm just a head. I haven't bought the body. But we're also joined by Hannah Montegomery from Grace Cares. Hello, Hannah.
Hello, Tim. Hi, Lucy.
Hello.
So welcome to the mad world of the Lucy and Tim Show. Anyway, how was your day today, Hannah? Was it good?
It was good. There was a lot of facts and figures in my day today, which I'm not a numbers person, so there was a lot of concentrating, but it was good. I feel accomplished.
Because of the facts and figures.
Because of the facts and figures, and now they make a little bit more sense in my head, which is exciting.
Facts and figures are awkward, aren't they? I've got dyscalculia, and facts and figures are like, whoa. Sometimes they just baffle me completely.
Yeah, we've got some grant funding, and I had to kind of understand how that would work, what the projection plans for that would be, and send them off to the accountant. And I've been putting my head in the sand about it, but today I bit the head of the snake, and I feel slightly more in control of my life.
But does it feel like an enormous accomplishment now that you've actually tackled that thing that you've been ignoring and putting off?
Until the accountant comes back and says I've done it completely wrong.
know.
But for this evening, because I sent it literally just before I came on this call,
Yeah.
I'm like, yes.
See,
Yeah.
Lucy, that's why she was late.
I wasn't. It was 1 minute.
Okay, she was not late.
I'm sorry, Tim.
Don't apologise. No, don't even go there, Hannah. Just leave him sat in the dark. It's just somebody turn the light off. It's fine.
That nearly happened to me a few weeks ago doing a live webinar. It was in one of those rooms with the automatic lights, and the lights kept turning themselves off, and I kept having to move my hands around to make the lights stay on. Otherwise, I would have been doing a live webinar for hundreds of people in the dark.
Sustainable, though, I suppose, on a positive.
Did you like the link there? That was good, wasn't it?
I'm impressed with
that. Was good, wasn't it?
That was definitely a lateral chunk. I'm very, very impressed with that. So when Beans, as we
that's
said,
why we invited her.
Yeah, it is. It's why we invited her.
So, Lucy, do you want to kick off and ask poor Hannah some questions?
Yeah. So, well, I know you of Hannah with two hats.
I've got two hats.
You've got two hats. And we're here to talk about the green sustainable hat, aren't we?
We are indeed. I've got notes all around me, though. That's not all that sustainable, for facts and figures, so I can quote some stuff and not get it wrong.
So tell us, Hannah, for those that don't know, who are you and why are you wearing a lovely green jumper?
I'm wearing my green jumper. So I'm Hannah Montgomery, and with my green hat on, I'm a co-founder of a not-for-profit called Grace Cares. So what we do is we save care equipment from landfill. So we've got partnerships with 4 NHS trusts, and we work with local care homes and national care homes. They give us their used care equipment, we clean it, maintain it, infection control it, and then we sell it for at least half the original RRP. Then with those profits, we've got funding pots, one for health and social care workers nationwide, one for older people nationwide. So we put older people as anyone 70 and above. And then we also do local community work. So we'll go into local care homes and do kindness rock painting, and we host monthly companionship tea parties and different things like that.
Wow.
And is it?
You see, we're going to have right. What we're going to have is cards.
We are, aren't we? You go first. Go on. We're excited, Lucy.
I know you're excited, right? So we're going to have a piece of paper, and I'm going to have to put my piece of paper up when I want to ask a question. But Hannah, I don't know if it's recycled.
It's all right as long as you use it to its full capacity. We double side, so we will have scrap paper, and then the paper that we've used, we'll use it again. So there's notes upon top of notes.
Do you know
Ooh.
what? You've just reminded me of my mother.
Oh gosh, is that a good thing?
Bless her, bless her. Honestly, my mother was. If he's got a piece of paper, he's got a question. I love it, right? So my mother
It
was.
was my tea. Look,
Love it.
I got my paper out the bin.
Hang on, is it recyclable?
I'm going to show you something as well.
It says sleeve recycle,
Good.
So you
tray
can recycle it.
recycle, film do not recycle.
Oh,
For this, I've started a course with Aston University, and I had my first session on Monday, and it's called Green Advantage. It's like a boot camp. And one of their previous cohort had created this. So it's a pad with an erasable pen. So you, or I best not show you that page, it might be confidential, but you'd write on there your notes, and then you can wipe it off with a cloth and a bit of wet paper with this special erasable pen. So you can
what's
keep
that?
using it. It's quite cool. I'm not really a techie person, and I really do. I've tried to use the tablets with the pens, and it's just not me. So I'll let you know if it's any good. But I was well excited by it.
What's that?
So yeah.
What's that? So look, right. This is my question then, because I put my piece of paper down. Then it's Tim's turn. Why Grace Cares? Come on, it's got a lovely story.
Oh, Grace Cares. So why did it happen? So I ran Contact the Elderly for Lichfield for about the last 8 years. So that's a charity. I was doing it in my spare time. So once a month, we had 9 to 12 older people. They'd come to my house, or we've got other volunteers. They'd go to their house, and once a month, we put on an afternoon tea party for them. And one of the ladies we were supporting, Doreen, and we still support her now, she had a fall, and she doesn't have many friends or family or anything like that, and she was stuck in a top floor masonette flat when she came out of hospital. She was getting 4 care visits a day, but she was calling me a lot of the time. Hannah, could you just, oh my goodness, Doreen, okay. So I called my friend Adam, who's another co-founder of Grace Cares, and said, right, we need to get Doreen out of her flat. She's oh my God, I need to get her out of her flat. He owns a clearance company, and he does a lot of probate work. So I was like, right, if you get straight down stair lift, let me know, because I need to get Doreen out of her flat, and we can I'll pay for an electrician or whoever it is, and we can get it in. And he was like, I have so much care equipment, and we break it down, we try and recycle it, but it often goes into landfill. And I was like, this is ridiculous. I know people that need this. And then before you know it, my living room's overrun, garage is overrun, and now it's a hobby that's taken over my life. Yeah, that's Grace Cares. That's how that came about.
Oh, that's lovely. It's your turn, Tim.
What's the other hat that you wear then?
I've got a marketing consultancy called Gold Dust Marketing. So I've worked with companies that sell into care providers for about the last 2 decades.
Okay.
So that's my other hat.
So
that's
you've
why
got care provider contact.
Yeah, and
Okay.
I understand. a
Interesting
limited amount.
you mentioned that you were looking for stairlift. So is that something that your organisation does? Does it rehome stairlift?
We're not allowed. So our insurance won't let us do that. So we did for Doreen, because we weren't insured. We weren't.
Your insurance won't let you do that. Why not?
So because nobody's doing it, when we got insured for the first year, so we've just completed our first year of insurance, nobody wanted to insure us at all, because it was kind of the use of secondhand. How can we prove that they were maintained? So we've got maintenance schedules for each piece of equipment that we have to send across to the insurance company, so they know what we've done, and they can spot check that kind of at any time. But because of us not being, we're just not insured for the stairlifts. I don't know if there's more things that go wrong with them. So they've allowed us to be insured on certain items, but not.
So are you allowed to be insured for electric care beds?
Yes. Yeah, electric care beds, electric wheelchairs, electric
I'm-
scooters.
I'm not seeing the logic of this.
I don't see it either. But to be fair, we're not specialist enough to put the stairlift in. So actually, where would the blame lie if they bought something that had been reconditioned by us and infection controlled, but then somebody put it in wrong, and then is the fault and blame on us? I don't know if that.
Maybe you could be.
Yeah, I don't know.
At some
But we're
point.
not insured, so we don't do it.
It just seems to me that a stairlift is something that costs many thousands of pounds when you need it. And when you want to dispose of it, you literally have to pay a company like, I'm not going to mention the name,
Yeah.
but they do grow into trees. You have to pay them money to come and take it away.
Yeah.
And all they do is tart it up and flog it to somebody else.
Yeah, a lot of care equipment companies do that as well.
Yep.
Another one that shall not be named, make 2/3 of their profit from reconditioned items, but don't really say they're reconditioned. So actually, the care providers are using reconditioned kit without really overly knowing that they are anyway. So
Do you know what I discovered the other day? Because I'm a hearing aid wearer, even though I'd forgotten to put them in today. Hearing aids can be reused.
I think
So I
it's
have hearing aids, but when my hearing aids come to their end of their life for me, I have new ones. My hearing aids can go back to the manufacturers. They can be cleaned, they can be reprogrammed, and they can be rehomed to somebody else.
Love it.
No, but
I think that can happen for pacemakers, and they're used for animals.
Oh wow.
I think.
I just wonder, is that another option? Because there must be so many hearing aids that get binned, but they can be all they did, they just reset them and then reprogram them for somebody else, change the bit that goes in your ear, give the rest a bit of a clean. Exactly the same as care equipment, just like little equipment, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
But some of these hearing devices are thousands and thousands of pounds.
And they make such a difference to someone's quality of
Yeah.
life. And what if they can't afford the thousands and thousands of pounds, but they can afford a reconditioned
Well,
thing?
What I hear a lot from care providers is they know that the people they support need really good hearing aids. But families say we are not spending £4,000 of our inheritance because Mum won't get much use for them because she's going to be dead in 2 years or 18 months, which I think is terrible.
Years be horrible, where she feels discombobulated and can't understand what's going on.
And we
It's not part of
absolutely
the
know
conversation.
that hearing loss makes dementia much, much worse. So I just wonder, maybe it makes an idea for you. Yeah, you've got plenty of time to do this, haven't you?
It's just another thing we'll put it onto the list in terms of we're just trying to nail what we do at the moment and get it bang on, so we can almost roll it out nationally, just doing what we're doing now, because we get a lot of our kit, all of our kit gets donated, so we don't buy anything. So we work with 4 NHS trusts at the moment.
Yeah.
Predominantly it's Birmingham NHS Trust that we work the majority of the time with. They give us the most amount of care equipment. It's just making sure that all the processes through that work. We're getting different bits of equipment now. We're proving ourselves within the NHS to, so it's building on those, as opposed to, because we did start doing loads of different other things, and this isn't even my job. I don't get paid for doing Grace Care, so I just do this in my free time, which is my whole life. And that's why I don't sleep, and that's why I'm 1 minute late for webinars, because I'm sending numbers
You're
that
forgiven.
I don't understand.
Lucy's not waving her paper. I don't know why she's not waving her paper.
Because I was too busy shaking my head at the fact that you were not late.
Okay.
I want to say ignore Tim.
I think he's just poking an angry bear, and we're just going with it. I'm not. I'm finding it quite funny.
Yeah, but this is what we do. This is all part of it. This is,
Ah.
it's not actually put on. This is just how we are when you put us in a room together, which is just quite funny. So over the years, I have been to 1 or 2 care homes, and there's that room, isn't there, that you go in and it's just full of equipment that somebody once had, and it's somebody's like was there and they had a piece of equipment and then they've moved on to that next kind of place, and his stuff just goes in a room, and then somebody comes along, i.e. one of those external regulatory kind of people, or somebody like me in my old world, or somebody like Tim in his current world comes along and opens, says, "What's in this room?" Knock on this door. You open it up and it's like it's the room of doom for equipment. Everything's in there. And then all of a sudden, what you see is a trail of this equipment with lots of members of staff carrying it out, or the poor maintenance person carrying it out and just putting it in a skip.
Yep.
Happens everywhere. The other thing is, there's the cupboard or the wardrobe of doom, where every single blanket that has come off an ambulance trolley has been folded up and put in this cupboard. It's never gone back to the NHS trust it's come from.
It's insane, isn't it? The amount of money that's wasted, and then it's a sustainability issue because we're producing more and more and more of something that's already been produced. We're using the carbon to produce it, and it's insanity.
I've still got my crutches. When I snapped my Achilles tendon.
How many years ago was that, and how many times have you tried to send it back?
5 years ago, 3.
Yeah.
Frightening.
Yeah. I still got the orthopedic boot that I had for 3 months. It's a bit grubby now, but this thing costs hundreds and hundreds of pounds. And I tried to give that back, and they just said, "We'll just throw it in the skip, just put it in the recycling."
Yep. Don't give it to Grace Cares.
Yeah, give it to Grace Cares. So, if some of this stuff we can't use in this country, like, because there's some kind of like countries that take like your old glasses. Surely there's got to be ways where there's
Some of the
organised.
NHS trusts do send equipment across overseas, and they've got different things going on. But now they send it to Grace Cares. So the craziness was, why are you creating that carbon footprint and sending it somewhere else, which I'm sure they need it, and I don't begrudge that at all. But if we're talking about sustainability and hitting net zero by 2050, why aren't we looking for avenues of helping where we've spent the money and help the health and social care system that's kind of on its knees a little bit in this country first, and it's less carbon sending it away. But I do feel for the NHS. They used to have maintenance teams. They used to have a lot more warehousing and stuff like that, and they don't have that anymore. So, and the processes have kind of gone by the wayside of, oh, we're bringing these back. You're on reception, you have no idea what the process is. You're like, "I'm sorry, Tim, I don't know what to do with your crutches. Could you just take them home?" "I don't know, no one's told me." And so you've got to kind of, you feel for them a bit, but they've just been taken from, and the resources that they used to have, they no longer have.
And often when the public need this equipment, they need it today, and they need it for quite a short period of time.
We've had people come to my mum and dad's house during Easter Sunday Easter dinner, because we had 2 calls from 2 ladies and their husbands, and they weren't, I don't know if they'd gone out together. I don't think they did, but who knows, had gone out over the Easter weekend and hurt themselves and needed some crutches, but weren't going to A&E. So I said, well, I can't open the unit today. It is Easter Sunday. My mother will kill me, but I will go and get some. I'll put them in the boot of my car, and if you come to my mum and dad's house, I will give you some crutches. So the reactiveness of bank holidays. I'm sure this upcoming bank holiday, more people will have put themselves into some DIY situations and probably will need care equipment.
I
We'll have
promise to
sort.
make sure this video doesn't go out until after that point, because we don't want to queue down the road from mum and dad's front door.
Lucy, there is no chance of it going out before bank holiday.
Yeah, I know it's August, isn't it? The next one.
It takes about a week for Lucy's charming assistant to do all the clever stuff.
Oh, you know why that is? And it's
Yeah,
it's not his fault. It's the fact that I have to think about watching the beginning and the end of the video to get the cutoff times right. So I have to then actually find the time to sit there and do that. That won't be done till Friday. So actually this week it might be a bit quicker, but he has to re-record the whole thing because he has to put the bit on the front, the bit on the end. And then because we're such a tiny channel, it takes ages to upload because YouTube don't give it priority to upload because, you know, fundamentally we just do this because it's fun. And we're just like not bothered about them things called subscribers and likes and things like that.
And she normally does the begging for subscribers and likes at the end, but this time she's done it in the middle.
During, we'll do it throughout.
That
Hit like.
was good, that Lucy. Do it in the beginning. That's good. I like that.
I just kind of, did you see? I just kind of, no,
That was good, wasn't it?
That's good. That's good. See, it's all about sustainability. You've got to sustain subscribers.
Love it. It's all linking in.
So come on. What about these care homes that suddenly close and then they've got all this stuff?
We've been called in by a lot of local authorities. Well, Warwickshire County Council, Staffordshire County Council have called us in when care homes have closed and just gone, please come and get this care equipment, because it kind of saves it. They're not paying to get it removed because we'll come and get it for free, and they're not them skipping it, and they get then the impact report from us to talk about the carbon that's saved. And then in terms of ESG, so ESG stands for environmental, social and governance, and the social element we tie into as well. So if care homes were to give us their care equipment like the NHS, we produce a monthly impact report of the journey then of those items. So have they been, how many were broken, how many were fixed, so repaired and didn't go into landfill, then how many, where did they go? They went that far and they helped Mrs. Jones and they did this, and then with the money that we received for those items, what did we do with that money? We hosted X amount of tea parties, we gave a grant to such and such for this, and we did that. So there's a benefit to people to giving us, not just because it's the right thing to do, but actually when the CQC come knocking, there'll be evidence.
I knew that was coming. I could see Tim's face.
It's a quality statement, isn't that?
Yeah.
Environmental sustainability. And care providers have got to calculate that mythical thing called a carbon footprint, and they're clueless.
Yeah, I've got it. I've got the most up-to-date quality statement. Sits within WellLid, so the scope. So there's 3 points that they're harping on about. People are aware and actively engaged in planning for and responding to potential impact of climate change. Second one is the provider encourages sustainable practices for staff. So that's staff training, cycling to work.
It means don't break the stuff.
Don't break the stuff in the first place.
Please don't break the stuff.
Or tell someone if you have and we can maintain it. And then is the provider working with partners to promote environmental sustainability? And then they've said to focus on mitigation rather than adaptation. So that's how I think the CQC at the minute are thinking. So if they're the 3 things that you'd focus on those 3 things to get your ticks, because that's
and care providers have got breathing space because it's not going to be assessed at their first assessment.
Mm-hmm.
But it will be next year, the year after, won't it? I mean, they've got a little bit of leeway, but care providers I speak to just don't really know what to do with this.
Well, we've started this Caring for Tomorrow series to support care providers on their journey. So through doing Grace Cares, which was just an idea, I'm now on a sustainability journey, Tim, that I never thought over 2 years ago that I'd be on either. So we're all carbon literate citizens, the 3 founders of Grace Cares, and now we're a carbon literate company bronze level, and you can kind of go through bronze all the way up. So you're continually learning to get higher up up the kind of pecking order on it. And what I just showed you then, I've gone back to Aston Uni to do this Green Advantage course. So I'm trying to actively learn and implement. I haven't had to retrofit anything within Grace Cares. We're starting from that viewpoint. So how can I then help care providers? I'm having to learn all this stuff anyway, so I might as well share it. So we do collaborative sessions that are an online session. So through the work that we were doing with the NHS, I got invited onto this kind of working board thing with DEFRA and RAP, focusing on a project that they wanted to do. So I kind of took the learnings from that, copied it for what we could do with social care. So it's kind of like this online sticky note software, and we kind of jump on. It's just an hour session 8 times a year, and we talk about what we're doing now, what our issues are, what's stopping us from doing certain things, what we could be doing, and then everyone takes away one action at least that they're going to take away. And it's a working document that any of the providers that are part of it have full access to. So at any point, if the CQC could show how are you evidencing this, they'll see each session, what's been achieved, and how often we meet. And then we do quarterly webinars. So the next one is next month, and we've got NHS Midlands are one of our partners because they're further down their sustainability journey. They're going to kind of be a live case study talking about what they're doing and what's going well. So hopefully, because the NHS have got a lot more money and stuff, and the NHS, the Greener NHS website, that is great for loads of resources. I know you were talking about PPE before we came on live.
Yeah, what about PPE?
There's a gloves off campaign that the NHS did to prove that actually there's no more infection rate if you're not using the gloves in certain situations than if you are. So actually you don't have to use the gloves. They saved X amount of plastic and the infection rates never changed. So there's a gloves off campaign that it might be worth care providers having a look at to then look at if they can be gloves off, because then they won't have PPE going out of date because they won't be using the PPE for certain things.
That's one of Lucy's concerns, isn't it, Luce? That all of this mountains of PPE that's now literally just going into landfill because it can't be reused because it's out of date. There's boxes of stuff.
The rubber must be recycled in some way. There's got to be someone that's recycling something. There's plastics that can be used for bricks in Africa where they kind of use all different kinds of. You can send away all your old crisp packets and they put them into like a brick-like formation and they make bricks.
You make jewelry out of the nest, you know, the little pods that are for the coffee machines.
Yeah.
There's places that make jewelry. And so, like my little pods, I put them, I've got a little container, I pop the coffee out, wash my little pod out, and off it goes, gets made into jewelry. And then the coffee grounds go in the compost bin, and rhododendrons love it. Who knew?
Yeah, composting.
So what can we make out of masks then?
Bras? I don't know.
So there's got to be something, because I've seen lots of people on these Facebook groups saying, what are you doing? It's another room of doom, you know, in these buildings where they've had to find a space. I mean, we think about it over the pandemic, people were buying porta cabins and sheds to put all this PPE in.
Yeah.
They've just had truckload after truckload after truckload, and now they don't have to use it all. They've got all this stuff. It's out of date, so they can't use it. So it's like, well, you know, surely there's got to be a way that it can go somewhere to be used by somebody.
In terms of when we get donations of PPE, because we're more the care equipment side than that side, we just put Facebook shout outs and all over our social media streams to anyone that would like it, because then we're not bound by any. It's a free giveaway.
It's a free site. Do you get takers for it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
People love anything that's free. It's mental. People then go ham over fist to get the free things.
Get the free things, sell it in a car boot sale.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows what they're doing with it? I'm not here to question what they do with it, as long as they're having a nice time and not hurting anybody else. You treat yourself, do what you want.
As long as it's safe and legal, they can do whatever they want with it.
Exactly that.
So apart from studying and getting these lovely sparkly awards and saving the planet, what else are you doing at Grace Cares over the next few months and stuff?
We're doing well, we're doing dementia training for all of our volunteers because we think that's important. So we're working with the Alzheimer's Society on that. And then we've got a corporate afternoon tea that we're doing across UK Care Open Week, Care Home Open Week. There we go. I'll get back on the planet. So we've got 20 local businesses coming into a local care home that we've got a partnership with, so they can come and meet the residents, have an afternoon tea, see what it's like. And then we've got the Pimp My Ride intergenerational kind of competition. So this was, we have so many Zimmer frames donated to us, and it's, I didn't realise before working with care equipment that there's obviously one's for a larger person, one's for a skinnier person, one for a tall person. They don't stack, they don't do anything. They just cost us a lot of money in terms of storage costs. And nobody takes them back. Nobody reuses them. They're hardly used anyway. And they just grow like gremlins. They do. You look, turn away and you look and there's more. So I was like, there's got to be a way to highlight. This was before we were working with the NHS trusts. I was going to highlight the waste and how that they should be working with us. So now actually it's in collaboration with the NHS. So we've been working with local schools and colleges to put on this Pimp My Ride campaign. So they've been given Zimmer frames to pimp. So they can do anything. They've been tasked with, they could either find a way of stacking them, make them into something else. So I spoke with one, a lady that's a nurse actually, but her and her husband own a care home, and he was so annoyed with the Zimmer frames, he was cutting them in half and putting disposable barbecues in the middle of them and using them outside as as like a barbecue for the care home, which I thought was quite cool. So maybe the students would want to do that, or maybe they're going to make it look beautiful but in a sustainable way with sustainable items. Maybe they're going to stick loads of PPE on it. I don't know. And then we've got a celebrity ambassador that will be launching our Pimp My Ride campaign on the 27th of June. And we've got the older people that come to all of our Grace Cares tea parties and rock painting and from the local care homes. They're part of the judging panel. We've got some care workers that are coming that are part of the judging panel, and we've got students from Saxon Hill Special Needs School, because they're not physically able to participate in the making of an item, but we didn't want them to be left out, and they use care equipment, so they've got part of the vote. So they've all got 20% each. So on that night, we will know 60% of the vote who the winning school so is, and then the exhibition is open until the 2nd of July for the public to come in and cast their vote for the final 40%, and then the winner wins a £200 prize and all the press and all the rest of it from the back of that. So it should be something that's quite good fun, and it's been well received. So we're going to do that annually now, at least for the next 2 years, an intergenerational thing. So yeah, something to highlight waste and get the oldies and the youngies in the same room and realise that all hoodies aren't scary and that all old people aren't, to be ignored.
It would be nice if care homes took that up as well and took that ball and ran with it, wouldn't it, as well?
Maybe we could take it on tour. Maybe we could do Pimp My Ride on tour, and instead of going and doing the rock painting in the care homes as one of the sustainable activities, we could pimp the care.
And another bit of equipment that you see a lot of is wheelchairs. Loads of care homes I go to have got these grubby, redundant wheelchairs. I mean, I went to one and there were 20 wheelchairs in the corridor. And who are they for? Do you know who they were for? Dead people.
Yeah, okay.
People who passed away. And sometimes these wheelchairs didn't come from the NHS. They were purchased by people's families.
Yeah.
Why would you need a wheelchair for a relative who's passed away? You don't. What do you do with it? You donate it to the care home because thank you very much, but doesn't really want it.
Yeah. But you could donate it to Grace Cares now, because we would love it, because we have loads of people that need wheelchairs.
You'll be inundated. You'll have thousands of wheelchairs arriving in 2 weeks' time.
That's good. Honestly, as soon as they come in and we fixed and maintained, they go out. And we have a flat fee for all of our wheelchairs. So you either get a real bargain, well, you still get a bargain either way, but they're all £99. So whether it's a couple of grand fancy smancy wheelchair or it's a Careco Viper original RRP £200, you're still getting it at half price or less, you know, but it means that we're not spending a lot of time understanding the original costs of it. It's just £99. And then we do a buyback. So if then you don't need any more, because we haven't got the facility yet to do renting, but if you were there to bring it back, we'd give you £20 back.
You know, it'd be nice if you could track a piece of care equipment that comes back and forwards to you.
We've got stickers that go on all of our equipment
Okay.
that have got a QR code. So they've got a code on them, and then they've got the QR code so people know that they can bring it back and that we will go and kind of pick it
So you
up.
could track its journey.
Yeah.
Wonder how many times in 10 years' time it'll have been through your warehouse.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, wouldn't it?
That would be fascinating, actually, to figure
Wouldn't
out.
it be good if, oh look, this has been through our warehouse 5 times. It saved so many million tons of CO2.
Yeah. No, I love that.
If you got the QR code, you probably got the ability to do that.
Yeah. We've already had some items back, but
Okay.
we kind of become part of the final life journey. So some of the care equipment we had back, there was a lady that called us, her name's Sam, and her father had a fall and gone into hospital very suddenly and needed to come out very quickly. So she was like, I need everything now. And she was obviously really distressed, understandably so. Came to the unit, we found she got a bed, she got this, she got everything. And we were like, right, cool. We got a logistics company because we didn't have our van at the time, to take it there the same day, and when we kept in touch with her. She's lovely, and she got her father. Her father's actually on our website, and he gave us a review. The bed, very comfortable. This I use this, and he's charming. And unfortunately, he passed away last month. But she called us straight away and said how wonderful that we'd been, how that they were going to do as part of the funeral, that part of the funds that would be raised would go into our hardship fund donation pot, and that she wanted to send all of the items back. So she paid for a logistics company to send the equipment back to us. It's just lovely.
Listening to that, I am sort of getting the impression that you'll ship this stuff on national then, if necessary.
Yeah, so we try and save carbon. So our accountant, who is just lovely, his mother lives in Essex. So he was going down to see his mother anyway. A care home from Essex had asked for a lot of kit.
I saw that on the internet, on
Yeah.
LinkedIn.
Yeah, like Tetris. So we packed him up and he took it down for us.
How did he get all of that stuff in his car?
I don't know. It was brilliant. I was like, how are you going to get your own?
He must have been driving like this.
You get props of me. Let's not look at the legalities of the driving and the safety. But we got a lot of care equipment in there that wasn't using. It was an electric vehicle as well. So it was a double win. But yeah, we work with logistics firms on their backfilling as well. So we've actually sent to a domiciliary care company for their training room in Essex again. Essex must just be where we're going. We found a logistics firm that was coming to Birmingham anyway and going back with an empty load, because we've got friends in logistics. So we gave them a nominal fee because they were going back to Essex anyway, and they took our items back with them. So it's just trying to be creative. We do want to reach out, to be honest, or have conversations with any big blue chip that has got lots of vans on the road. So I'm thinking Waitrose, not their freezer stuff, or other huge companies that are doing loads of logistics, that have got their own fleet, that might be going back somewhere at the end of a day empty, that could pick up for us and drop back.
Like Amazon.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Amazon. Let's put that out there, Tim. Yeah, Amazon.
Or every.
Yeah.
Well, so all of those, every DPD, Amazon.
White Logistics, that's a local firm to me. There you go.
There you go. Anyone that has got the empty capacity and would do it, because there's care homes all over that want to give us stuff. We'll only go within, at the moment, 25-mile radius of where we are for free to go and pick stuff up. Because we don't have the manpower, volunteers, or capacity to do any more.
But even the big van ones, like AO.com, Currys, that big van goes out full of stuff, doesn't it? And you actually wanted to pick up little stuff mostly, don't you?
Yeah.
I mean, most of the equipment you'll pick up is a lot smaller than a double freezer.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, they'll tell you a million reasons why they can't do it, but
I know.
everything's possible, isn't it?
That's the next. That's on the map as well of things that we're going to try and do. But yeah, it's an
Change
idea.
the world.
We will.
Yeah.
We won't sleep, but we'll change the
Was it
world.
2 years ago you set it up? I can't remember now.
So it officially launched on Valentine's Day, not this year, the year before, when we launched the website with the product on. It was an idea as of kind of September the year before. We kind of thought about it after Dorian was like, oh, maybe we should do it, and then
Yeah.
batted it back and forth. But it kind of really kicked off the Valentine's Day, 14th of February,
Like
2023.
massive growth.
Well, now
Massive growth.
we've got a unit that's just shy of 2,000 square foot in Lichfield. So it's really kicked off since November. So we got the unit on the 1st of November, the bigger unit. And now people are knowing about us in the local community and they're coming. And it's more than just selling care equipment that we're doing as well, because whether people know it or not, when they come to us, they probably need either a hug or a care visit. So, you know, sometimes someone's purchasing something, it's an hour and a half purchasing journey, because we've had it before where a gentleman's been hoodwinked by his daughter to meet there because she wants him to either have a four-wheeler rollator or a wheelchair for when they go on holiday. He is unaware that this is what's happening. Then they come and there's like a altercation of, you will be getting one, Dad. And Dad's going, I don't need this care equipment. I don't want it. And we're going, right, okay, cool. No one has to have anything. Do you want a biscuit and a brew? Yeah. And before you know it, actually he's going, no, I want the four-wheeler rollator, and he's trying it and he's going, actually, I probably want the wheelchair, don't I? And we're like, yeah, go up and down outside. And we're in a nice business park that's in a rural area, so it's quite pretty, and there's horses and stuff, so there's no traffic or anything, so you can go up and down on the wheelchairs, test them out in the sunshine. So yeah, so we deal with all kinds of things. Or we had one lady that came to get a wheelchair, and it was the realization that she needed a wheelchair, and she just sat in this electric wheelchair and sobbed.
Oh.
And I was like, I'm going to use the S word, it's just a bit isn't it? And she was like, yeah, it is. And I was like, you can say that if you want, you can cry if you want. Do you want to? But she wanted an Earl Grey decaf. She was very specific on what she wanted, but it's part of that, and that we can then almost help signpost where there's different funding pots for them as well, and where there's support in the community to help these people that are going through huge life changes and just don't know.
No, a couple of times we've been talking, I've kind of reflected on when my mum was dying.
Yeah.
And you know, she'd been rushed in with sepsis to hospital, and then she'd been sent out. And we were like, okay, and we kind of got her up and going. And, you know, over the years, she'd had she had a stick and this and that and the other and blah, blah, blah. And her mobility just got worse rapidly every few days. We had no support whatsoever. Had it not have been for my knowledge, had it not have been for the fact that Mom had her, she'd had DLA money for years, I was able to go online, find a company I knew and said, I want a this, a that, and the other. I'll have some slide sheets, I'll have this. I taught my dad how to use slide sheets. We've got an electric bed, we've got the appropriate mattress. District nurses came in and went, do you want this? Oh, you've already done it. Yeah, because I hadn't got time to wait for you, because do you know what? Mum's not going to be around long. And that's what we did as a family. But how many people have won the luxury of having the money and also the knowledge and the experience of knowing how to do it? And that was something we didn't need when Mum was dying. We just didn't need it. We needed a solution, and luckily we were able to implement that. But how many people can't do that?
Yeah. We have loads of people that are in situations, or we have people calling up and they can't come to us because they need equipment. So if they're local, we don't advertise to do this, and we don't always do this, but maybe sometimes we do this. If somebody says they can't get out and they're really, we've took wheelchairs around to people's houses before for them to trial to see if they're all right. We've took rollators round to kind of get people out that kind of are housebound a little bit, that are just fed up, that have called us up crying, going, I can't do this anymore.
So fundamentally, with the world being a not so good place in some ways, you're just doing a really good thing, and you're a sparkly hub of loveliness.
We're trying our best. I mean, some days we're like, oh my God, what's happened today? Not everything is perfect, but we've got carers at the heart of, we've got kind of different mission statements, and the overarching one is carers at the heart of everything we do. So even if we have a really naff day, or we want to cut a corner, or we don't want to do something, I've had it thrown at me by Emma before, going, is care at the heart of everything you're doing right now, Hannah? And I'm like, oh, you're using my mission statement against me. No, it's not. Okay, I'll go back and do it. Yeah, I'll go that. I need to think about doing that with more care, and being more empathetic and doing the right thing than just being, oh, it's a Friday afternoon, I don't want to do it. It's doing the right thing.
I think it's a really good thing that you're doing.
Well, I don't have any children, you see, Tim. So my thought process is, if I pay into the bucket now, hopefully Grace Cares will still be there to, in some weird way, support me when I'm old and decrepit. That's what I'm hoping.
So we have something in common. I don't have any children that I know of.
that you're prepared to say on record are yours.
Well, not that I know of.
I don't either. You can come to Grace Cares, Bab. We'll help you out.
I think the time that I will need the equipment is sooner than when you will need it, unfortunately.
Well, we'll see. You just don't know what tomorrow will bring, do you?
You know, have you got any umbrellas?
Oh, I heard you need an umbrella.
It's only water. You only get wet.
At least you've had a wash today, Tim.
I've been up since 4:28.
Good for you. Are you looking for sympathy? Because I've got none.
I never get any sympathy off you. I never expected any sympathy.
No, I don't do sympathy.
But I did walk my 5 miles along Dawlish seafront this morning.
Good for you.
Yes. So anyway, I'm on a mission to walk 1,000 miles this year.
How far are you in?
490 something.
Miles or
Yes.
1,000?
490 miles so far this year I've walked.
And you want to do
1,000.
1,000? Oh gosh, so you're smashing it then.
No.
The 6 months.
So I try and walk that 5 miles 4 times a week ish.
Yeah.
So I walk. It's all over the UK. Depends where I'm working. So this morning was on the seafront in Dawlish.
What triggered that? Where's that come from? What's
End of October, overweight, got diagnosed with pre-diabetes, high cholesterol, high blood pressure. Thought, don't want to go on medication. I need to lose weight. I need to look after myself. I need to get fitter. So I just started walking. The first day I walked half a mile. I was knackered.
Yeah.
I'm now 13 kilos later. I don't have pre-diabetes. My cholesterol is as good as it's ever been. And I no longer frequent Greggs and takeaways.
Him looked at his sustainability.
I love it.
I mean, Lucy, probably if you look at the first episode of this we recorded, I probably looked a lot fatter than I do now. I mean, look at some of the videos of me and the photographs at the care show last October. It's terrible. I cringe when I see the videos and photographs of me at the care show. It's awful.
Are you going
know-
to the care show this year?
We are.
Yeah, we're doing
Yes,
this
what?
live.
Yeah.
We're going to be live. The Lucy and Tim show live.
We're even thinking of having t-shirts.
Oh, you should have t-shirts.
Are we having t-shirts?
We could have t-shirts. We should have one that says, he's Tim and she's Lucy.
That's not going to work unless we're next to each other.
Yeah, well, we'll be, won't we? Or are you planning not to sit on the same stage and we'll be opposite
But
stage?
what about when we go to the loo and I'm stood next to another bloke and it says, "This is Lucy."
Yeah, but that'd be really funny, wouldn't it?
You can't
Good.
assume it might be Lucy. Not our Lucy mother. I can't assume that either. But you can't assume anyone could be Lucy.
So we are going to be live, and before you joined us, we were discussing what we're going to talk about.
Ooh. You're going to spill the beans, spill the tea, as the young children say.
We think it might be a crowd puller.
Yes. Despite the fact that my co-collaborator said, I'm not doing that. Then I told her what my idea was. Yeah, I want to do that now. Which is exactly what you said, wasn't it?
It is, but you know what? I have a right to change my mind.
I just designed it in such a way that I knew you'd like it.
Well, you're just clever, aren't you, Tim? Come on.
Yes.
There we
Right.
go.
So we need to wrap this up because we've rabbited on for nearly 1 hour.
Oh,
Hannah, this is the longest episode we've ever done.
sorry.
Okay. No, that's not
You
bad.
don't need
That's
to be
good.
sorry, honestly,
Okay.
love. Yeah, we'd chat to you for hours because this is
Okay.
this is
This is really
rapid.
important, and it's an important message for the care sector. So, would you like to say something to our listener?
Oh, the pressure.
You don't have to, but if you want to put a message out, this is your chance. Don't have to.
I would say if you're looking on your sustainability journey, if you're looking on your sustainability journey, have a look at grace-cares.com on our section on caring for tomorrow, because it's free support for care providers nationwide on their sustainability journey. So why wouldn't you? And if you're 25 miles around Lichfield, give us a call straight away, because we can come to your care home and go to that room of doom and pick up all of your equipment and give you a nice impact report off the back of that. And if you are further afield, we can still come and pick some stuff up, but there will be a charge in terms of the extra mileage of coming to get it.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Dylan.
Lucy, do you want to do your roundup, even though you've done it at the in the beginning, middle? May as well do it at the end.
Are you looking for me to say something really dynamic and clever?
Yeah, go on then. Be the first time. Was she shaking her head now that we say these things to each other?
Oh.
Not going to say anything now. So I'll have to do it. So thank you for listening to, watching this episode of the Lucy and Tim Show, Common Sense Comment About Care. We would love to hear what you would like us to pull to pieces. We'd also like to hear from people that might like to be a guest, but you can't come and be a guest if you're going to try and sell something. You've got to be doing some good for the care sector. You've got to be doing some good for the world.
We're very selective over who we spend our time with.
So you
We
should
are.
be sustainable for your mental health.
Yeah, absolutely. I have to think about my well-being.
Mhm.
I do.
You do?
We also only have things that align with our values.
We do.
Do you know what else we do? We
What else do we
model good leadership, don't we, Tim? Can you see I'm on a roll now?
Boom.
Carry on then.
Right, okay, what else? No, I can't. That's it. I've got a cold. My brain's just not working. I think that's just enough, isn't it? Should we go now, Tim?
Yeah, switch it off, Lucy.
Go and get an umbrella, Tim.
Lucy, switch it off now. Switch it off.